Have you ever felt like your kindness is a heavy cloak, weighing down your spirit rather than lifting it? Like you're pouring energy into endless wells that never fill back, leaving you drained, unnoticed, and perhaps even hurt? There is a profound healing waiting for you when you learn to stop being kind to everyone, and not because kindness is wrong, but because kindness without boundaries can block your soul's true purpose. What if the real act of compassion begins with yourself? Imagine kindness not as a constant giving without pause, but as a sacred flow, like a river that must ebb as much as it flows. The Buddha said, "You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection." Could it be that your energy, your light, must be protected to heal old ancestral wounds and fulfill your life mission? Today we explore the subtle but powerful art of selective kindness, how to reclaim your energy, set healthy boundaries, and honor your deepest healing. You are in Zen Companion, a source of insight and inspiration for your journey. Before we continue on this transformative journey, take a moment to align your energy with the flow of abundance. If this message resonates with you, show your support by liking this video. It's a simple yet powerful way to amplify the ripple effect of positivity. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so you never miss another step toward a more enlightened and prosperous path. Now, let's strengthen this community of seekers. Drop a comment below with the mantra, "I am open to receive, and I am ready to give," a powerful affirmation of reciprocity that invites the universe to bring forth blessings in every form. Let these words not just be typed but felt, for the energy you put forth returns to you multiplied. Lastly, think of someone in your circle who could benefit from this message: a friend, a family member, or even a colleague seeking clarity and guidance. Share this video with them and be the spark that ignites a wave of transformation. The more we spread these teachings, the more we elevate not just ourselves, but the entire collective. Let's walk this path together. To truly understand why it's essential to stop being kind to everyone, we need to look closely at how kindness can sometimes backfire. When we spread our energy too thin by constantly putting others first, we risk losing touch with our own needs, values, and emotional boundaries. This isn't about becoming unkind or indifferent. It's about recognizing that kindness without limits can become a source of self-neglect and emotional exhaustion. The goal is to transform kindness from an automatic response into a conscious, intentional act that protects your well-being while still allowing you to support those who genuinely align with your purpose. With that in mind, let's explore 5 powerful techniques that will help you reclaim your energy, set healthier boundaries, and embrace a more balanced, authentic approach to kindness. Recognizing when kindness becomes self-sacrifice. Many of us grow up with an invisible script etched into our hearts, to be kind to everyone, no exceptions. But when does kindness cross the line into self-sacrifice? It's a subtle shift, like a shadow stretching longer in the fading light. Kindness that leaves you exhausted is no longer healing. It is an ancestral wound repeating itself through your energy. Ask yourself, when have you said yes out of obligation, out of fear of disappointing, rather than from your soul's gentle yes? Think back to those moments when a request lingered in the air, and despite the weight of exhaustion pressing against your chest, the word yes slipped out almost reflexively. You felt it, a quiet, aching pull within, a subtle tug that signaled the cost of that agreement. Yet, the fear of letting someone down overpowered the quiet voice of your own heart. The energy you give away is sacred. Each act of kindness is a fragment of your inner light, a precious gift that cannot be replenished without care. When that energy flows freely without intention or boundaries, it becomes a slow, invisible leak, a steady drip that gradually empties your well. You may find yourself feeling inexplicably tired, emotionally depleted, or quietly resentful, yet unable to pinpoint exactly why. That's the invisible debt your spirit carries, the burden of saying yes when your heart whispered no. This is the moment to pause, to breathe, and recognize that healing begins by honoring your limits. Your soul knows when it is being stretched too thin, when its whispers are being drowned out by the noise of endless obligations. Take a moment to gently place a hand over your heart, feeling the rise and fall of each breath. This is where your truth resides, in the soft rhythm of your own life force. The sacred act of listening inwardly is not selfish, it is an act of profound self-respect. When kindness drains you, it no longer serves your highest purpose, it merely fuels a cycle that dims your light. Each time you give when your spirit is weary, you reinforce a pattern of self-neglect that gradually erodes your inner strength. Imagine a candle burning without pause, its flame flickering as the wax pools and melts away. Without time to cool and restore, the light grows weaker, the wick shorter, the flame more fragile. Your soul is that candle. If you continue to burn without replenishing, the light you share with the world will eventually fade. It is not the act of giving that needs to change, but the way in which you give. Kindness, when offered with a full and joyful heart, becomes a healing balm for both giver and receiver. But kindness that emerges from a place of exhaustion, fear, or obligation only perpetuates a cycle of depletion. To break this cycle, consider this gentle shift. Before saying yes, pause. Breathe deeply. Feel the stillness within. Ask yourself, is this a genuine yes? A yes that feels expansive, aligned, and life-giving? Or is it a yes driven by fear, guilt, or the need to maintain peace at the expense of your own well-being? Your soul's gentle yes carries the power to uplift, nourish, and renew. It is a yes that honors both your spirit and those you choose to bless with your presence. Allow yourself to embrace the quiet strength of discernment, recognizing that true kindness is not a constant pouring out, but a sacred flow that moves from fullness to fullness, always circling back to replenish your own well. Setting boundaries as an act of sacred self-respect. What if saying no could be the most kind act you perform, not just for yourself, but for those around you? Setting boundaries isn't cold or harsh, it is an energetic alignment with your true self. Just like a garden needs fences to protect its delicate blooms, your spirit requires boundaries to flourish. Consider this sacred truth: each time you honor your limits, you teach others how to honor you. Boundaries are not barriers, they are gentle reminders that your energy is precious, that your light is sacred. Each time you choose to protect your well-being, you are not just caring for yourself, you are rewriting the story of your lineage, dissolving the silent inherited belief that your worth is measured by how much you give, how much you endure. In the past, you may have learned that kindness meant saying yes, even when it weighed heavy on your heart. You may have been praised for being selfless, for putting others first, for being the one who always shows up no matter how tired, no matter how empty. And so a pattern began to form, one that taught you to stretch yourself thin, to carry burdens that were never yours to bear, to smile through weariness in the name of being good. But what if this was never the true meaning of kindness? What if the most profound act of generosity is not in how much you give, but in how wisely you choose to give? Boundaries are not walls, they are sacred containers that hold the essence of your spirit, preserving the very life force that makes your kindness possible. Think of them as the banks of a river, guiding the water's flow, preventing it from spilling over and dissipating into the ground. Reflect deeply. Do your boundaries nurture your energy or diminish it? When you say yes out of obligation, when you give out of fear of disappointing, the river overflows, and the current weakens. Your energy becomes scattered, your light dimmed, your spirit stretched beyond what it was ever meant to hold. How often do you sacrifice your peace to keep others comfortable, to avoid conflict, to maintain appearances. In doing so, you may feel like you are preserving harmony, but the true cost is often your own inner calm, your own sacred stillness. Healing begins when you realize that your kindness has a sacred container, a vessel that must be protected, replenished, and honored. Imagine a cup of water that is constantly poured out without being refilled. At first, it seems like there is plenty to go around, but slowly, drop by drop, the cup empties. And when it is empty, what remains? An aching hollowness, a sense of depletion, a quiet resentment that whispers, "Why do I feel so drained?" To honor your limits is to say, "My energy is a sacred gift. I will not deplete it to the point of emptiness." It is to recognize that when you prioritize your own well-being, you are not withholding love, you are preserving the purity of your love, allowing it to flow from a place of fullness rather than obligation. It is a gentle but powerful shift from giving to everyone indiscriminately to giving with intention, with clarity, with a deep and abiding respect for your own spirit. Picture a garden that is tended with care. Each plant is watered just enough, each flower given the light it needs to thrive. The gardener knows that to overwater is as harmful as to neglect. In this way, honoring your limits is an act of self-compassion, a way of tending to the garden of your own soul. It is choosing to pour your energy where it can truly nourish, where it can truly bloom, where it can truly be received in the spirit in which it was given. Your boundaries are not a rejection of love, they are a reclamation of self-love. Each time you say, "This is what I can give, and no more," you are not closing your heart, you are fortifying it. You are reminding yourself that your worth is not determined by how much you do for others, but by how tenderly you care for yourself. You are creating a sacred space within, a space where your light can shine without burning out, a space where your kindness can flow without running dry. And in doing so, you teach others the true meaning of kindness, not as a sacrifice, but as a conscious, intentional act of love that begins with the self and radiates outward, like ripples in a still, clear pond. Embracing tough love for deeper transformation. True kindness sometimes wears the mask of tough love, a firmness that awakens the soul rather than comforts it superficially. This might feel unfamiliar or even uncomfortable at first, but like a sculptor chiseling away at marble, tough love carves space for authentic growth. It is a necessary fire that burns away illusions and invites genuine transformation. Ask yourself, when has your kindness become a barrier to truth? When have you smiled through discomfort, nodded in agreement, or offered reassurance when every part of you longed to speak a different truth? It's a subtle but powerful way we silence ourselves, masking authentic feelings beneath a veil of politeness, afraid that honesty might disrupt the delicate balance we've been taught to maintain. Yet in doing so, the cost is often far greater than any potential conflict. The cost is your own peace, your own integrity. To protect your energy and healing, you must sometimes speak with honesty and clarity, even if it feels difficult. This kind of truth is not about confrontation or harshness. It is about honoring the sacredness of your own voice, the quiet wisdom that whispers beneath the surface, urging you to step into alignment with what is real. There is a profound strength in choosing to speak from the heart, even when your voice trembles, even when the air grows heavy with the weight of unspoken words. Eckhart Tolle reminds us, sometimes letting things go is an act of far greater power than defending or hanging on. And sometimes, that letting go is not about releasing a person or a situation. It is about releasing the fear of being misunderstood, the fear of disappointing others, the fear of being seen as unkind. Because the deepest kindness is not always wrapped in agreeable words or gentle smiles. Sometimes it is the firm but loving no, the honest but compassionate truth, the willingness to stand in your own authenticity even when it shakes the ground beneath you. This tough love is not a rejection but a deep respect for your own spiritual path and that of others. It is the recognition that true kindness does not demand self-sacrifice. It requires self-awareness. It asks you to discern when your giving is rooted in genuine care and when it is driven by the need to keep the peace, to avoid conflict, to be seen as good. It asks you to consider whether your kindness is a gift freely offered or a mask that conceals your true feelings, leaving you quietly resentful, quietly drained. Imagine a tree with deep, sturdy roots. It sways with the wind but remains grounded, unshakable. The branches reach out, offering shade and shelter, but the roots draw nourishment from the earth, holding firm to what sustains them. This is the essence of tough love, a grounded, steady strength that can bend without breaking, that can give without emptying, that can speak truth without losing compassion. Ask yourself, what truths have you swallowed in the name of kindness? What words have lingered in your throat, unspoken, as you chose to soothe rather than stir? There is a time for silence, a time for patience, a time for allowing things to unfold naturally. But there is also a time for speaking up, for drawing a line in the sand, for standing firm in what your heart knows to be true. Your truth is not a weapon, it is a healing balm. It is the gentle but clear message that says, this is what I need. This is what I can give. This is where I must draw the line. It is the courage to say, I love you, and I love myself enough to speak honestly. It is the recognition that to withhold your truth in the name of kindness is to deny yourself the very compassion you so freely offer to others. And in that moment, when you choose to speak with honesty and clarity, you are not only setting yourself free, you are giving others the permission to do the same. You are creating a space where authenticity can breathe, where real connections can form, where love is not diluted by unspoken words or hidden resentment. You are allowing your kindness to become a true and sacred gift, one that nourishes both you and those you love, one that flows from a place of fullness rather than fear. So ask yourself again, when has your kindness become a barrier to truth? And what would it feel like to let that truth rise gently to the surface, like a breath released after holding it in for far too long? Cultivating authenticity over forced kindness. There is a luminous power in kindness that flows naturally from authenticity, rather than from obligation or fear. Forced kindness is like a fragile mask, hiding the radiant truth beneath. When you are authentic in your kindness, your energy flows effortlessly, like sunlight warming a cold earth. Reflect gently. How often do you find yourself performing kindness to meet expectations rather than your soul's true impulse? How many times have you offered a warm smile, an agreeable nod, or a helping hand out of habit rather than genuine desire? There is a subtle but profound difference between giving from a place of inner fullness and giving from a place of quiet obligation. The first is a natural flow, a gift offered freely and joyfully. The second is a slow, silent depletion of your own spirit, a pattern of self-sacrifice that can leave you feeling empty and unseen. Healing begins when you honor your feelings honestly and share kindness as a gift, not a duty. It is a gentle but powerful shift, a return to yourself, to your own needs, to the quiet truth that your energy is precious and finite. When you allow yourself to pause, to breathe deeply, to check in with your heart before responding, you begin to discern the subtle difference between a yes that uplifts and a yes that drains. In that pause, you reclaim your power, releasing the weight of expectations that have quietly shaped your life for far too long. Imagine what it would feel like to offer kindness without the invisible strings of obligation or the heavy cloak of ancestral patterns that insist you must always say yes. These patterns often come from generations of women who were taught that their value lay in how much they could give, how much they could endure, how much they could pour out without asking for anything in return. But what if you could release those chains, those old stories, those whispered beliefs that kindness is only valid if it costs you something. Authentic kindness is a sacred energy exchange, pure, healing, and life-giving. It is the act of giving from a place of genuine care, not from a place of depletion or self-neglect. It is the gentle, loving gesture that arises naturally, like a river flowing without effort, carrying with it the warmth of your spirit without draining its source. This kind of kindness nourishes both the giver and the receiver. It is not transactional, it is transformational. It is not a performance, it is a prayer. To offer such kindness requires you to be deeply present with yourself, to honor your own needs as much as those of others, to know that saying no when your heart feels heavy is not unkind. It is an act of self-respect, a boundary that preserves the sanctity of your energy. It is the recognition that you are not responsible for everyone's comfort, that your worth is not tied to how much you do for others, that your light does not shine brighter by burning yourself out. In this way, kindness becomes a true gift, one that is given without expectation, one that is received without obligation. It is a pure and sacred exchange, flowing freely and abundantly, nourished by the simple truth that you are enough, just as you are. And as you allow yourself to give from this place of fullness, you also allow yourself to receive, to be held, to be supported, to be loved without condition. So ask yourself again, when has your kindness become a performance rather than a true expression of your heart? And what would it feel like to let go of that need to please, to release those old chains, and to embrace the quiet, powerful knowing that your kindness is a sacred gift, not a duty? How would it feel to let your yes be a true yes, your no a true no, each word a reflection of your own heart's deepest truth? Prioritizing your energy for your true life mission. At the deepest level, your kindness is a reflection of your soul's purpose. When you stop being kind to everyone indiscriminately, you reclaim your energy to serve what truly matters: the healing, the mission, the love that flows through your life. This is where spiritual transformation blossoms. Visualize your energy as a precious flame. If scattered in too many directions, it weakens. If focused, it burns bright and clear. Your life mission deserves your full light. How can you use your kindness as a healing force that uplifts, empowers, and transforms? Remember, every no to misplaced kindness is a yes to your higher purpose. So here you stand at a sacred crossroads, to keep pouring yourself out endlessly, or to protect your energy and reclaim your healing power. The journey of selective kindness is not selfish, it is a soulful revolution. As the Buddha gently taught, peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. Your peace, your healing, your purpose begins when you choose kindness, not for everyone, but for yourself and those who truly resonate with your soul's light. Let this truth settle within you like a healing balm. Your kindness is a river that must ebb and flow, nourishing yourself first so you can deeply nourish the world. Will you dare to stop being kind to everyone, and start being kind to the most important person of all? If this message resonates, take a moment now to breathe deeply, honor your energy, and embrace the sacred art of selective kindness. The healing you seek is already within you, waiting for your permission to shine. As we come to the end of this journey, take a deep breath and allow the essence of this message to settle within you. If this content has touched your heart or sparked a new perspective, let us know by liking this video. Your support not only fuels this channel, but also helps spread these messages of light and wisdom to more souls seeking guidance. And if you haven't joined our community yet, hit that subscribe button and become part of a circle devoted to spiritual growth and inner peace. Now, let's anchor this energy together. In the comments below, type the mantra, "I am open to receive, and I am ready to give." Let these words serve as a powerful affirmation, a beacon that calls forth abundance while radiating love and generosity to others. Feel the resonance of each word as you type, allowing it to echo through your being and out into the universe. Before you go, take a moment to share this video with someone who might need to hear these words: a friend, a loved one, or even a stranger who could be seeking exactly this kind of guidance. Together, we can create a ripple effect of positive energy, one that extends far beyond ourselves. Thank you for being here, for your presence, and for choosing to walk this path with us. Until next time, stay open, stay receptive, and keep shining your light.